We can lock this in. There has been a lot of noise surrounding Breece Hall getting traded off of the New York Jets as the Jets move towards other running backs on the team, with Breece Hall's contract coming to an end and there being a lot of discussion surrounding Breece Hall getting traded. And Aaron Glenn has made comments on top of this, while Breece Hall also revealed his true feelings behind everything, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you're part of that 66%, guys, make sure to subscribe to Jets Digest, or I will stay upside down like this. They have me hanging upside down when I bring this screen up because we're waiting on that 6K, and then I'll be allowed to be right side up once again. But there has been news surrounding Breece Hall and the trade situation that's been going on with the New York Jets, and obviously Hall as well. And, well, he's the guy who's really in this trade conversation to begin with. And with Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis on the roster getting bigger spots, we saw Breece Hall not love what was going on, and then there was full-out trade rumors of teams being interested in Breece Hall. There being talk of Breece being dealt during the draft, and still there have been discussions of Breece Hall getting traded, and we do have an update on that. Breece Hall spoke out on this, saying, if people feel like you aren't doing your job, you're going to be replaced. And Hall, he made those comments clearly feeling the pressure of the trade situations. Now, Matt, Breece Hall's been a very solid player for the New York Jets. His best year was his rookie season before he went down with that ACL injury. And then the second year in the NFL, he was 4 yards away from having his first 1,000-yard season, in which he still has yet to amass as he moved a little bit back towards the 800s this season, with there being a few more guys running the ball as well. But, Matt, for the New York Jets right now, Breece Hall going out and saying this does seem like he's well aware of this talk.
I would argue that he's been more than solid over his 3 years in the NFL as part of the New York Jets. Yes, he's never rushed for 1,000 yards, but we have to remember Breece Hall is one of the premier dual threat running backs in the National Football League, at least looking at young guys. We're hoping that he is going to be able to take another jump forwards and turn in a massive season where he puts up, 1,300 rushing yards, kind of like what Jonathan Taylor used to do before the contract disputes and the injuries. But we're going to see what he can do. He's definitely going to get less opportunities this season, but we know he's a home run hitter. Any single play is an opportunity for Breece Hall to take it to the house. Don't let him get outside because he will make you pay. He's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Even last year, you said he only had around 800 rushing yards, but he caught a bunch of checkdowns from Aaron Rodgers and took them the distance in the rain or in the sunshine. He's someone that we want to keep on the team. We don't want to go ahead and trade him because we want to have, obviously, the best roster possible that we can put together. I can't imagine. We spent a second-round pick on Breece Hall. He's been in the NFL for 3 years, only under contract for one more, and he's not a super young guy anymore. So it would be hard to imagine another team stepping up and trading us the second-round pick back, which is what we would need to go ahead and trade him. If it was a third-round pick, that would be up to Aaron Glenn whether or not to trade him or not. I personally wouldn't move him for what would be deemed only a contender would trade for a running back like Breece Hall. I wouldn't trade him for a contender's third-round pick. But fortunately, it does look like he is going to be a part of the team going forwards. We're seeing that it's going to be a running back by committee, and that gives Aaron Glenn the opportunity to ride the hot hand. Whoever's playing good football is going to get the ball. That's exactly how it should be. We know that Aaron Glenn, he says no block, no rock. That's for the wide receivers, but also it's for the running backs. It's talking about how it's not just what you do when the ball's in your hands. It's how you handle yourself when you don't have the ball, your body language when plays are being called for other guys. What are you doing on plays where you are not the focus of the play? Everyone on offense wants the play to be called for them. But Aaron Glenn is making sure to put together a roster where we are going to play the players who play hard when they are not the target of the play. Running backs who block well and high effort blocking when it comes to pass protection. Wide receivers who run their routes hard, even if they're running a clear out route, even if they're not getting the ball. Those types of players is how you build a culture in the NFL and not just build a team of players who all demand the ball. Yes, Garrett Wilson is going to demand the ball, but we've seen Garrett Wilson. He has deserved it and earned it with his skill level, the production he's put up with bad quarterback play, and he has played hard even when the New York Jets don't call plays for him. But this season, we're going to see a lot of plays called for our top two guys in Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. Until Mason Taylor comes along, I'm not really sure where else this team is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, it's going to be a run-heavy offense. That means Breece is going to get his touches still, and that's something that Aaron Glenn did highlight when there was all this talk surrounding things. He's like, I think once everything starts to play out, everyone's going to be happy with the way it's all working. Glenn has been very open and honest as well. If you don't want to be on this team, nobody's going to stop you. You can leave. We don't want people who don't want to be here. That has been one of the big mantras of Aaron Glenn. And as you mentioned, the no block, no rock thing is not just about wide receivers. It's about every skill player, not quarterback obviously, but every skill player who does not get the ball on certain possessions. That includes Breece, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, anyone who's on the field ready to get the ball in their hands, who's not Justin Fields, is going to have that mantra in their head. That's going to be something that they're going to have to know, because you have to show that effort. You have to show, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm not getting the flashy play here. I need to be willing to win. And Aaron Glenn, knowing all the trade stuff is going around, Glenn has been around the NFL for 30 some odd years, including being a player who switched teams in his career as well. Glenn spoke to Breece Hall. He called Breece Hall and said, Breece, I don't want to trade you. You're our running back. So Aaron Glenn giving his full support to Breece Hall is exactly what you know Breece Hall needs to hear. And I think it also shows you exactly what type of coach Aaron Glenn is. He's not allowing any BS the way that Saleh would. But on top of that, he's still going to have his players' backs. And he's been adamant about that, that in his own way, yeah, he's going to be a player's coach where he's going to want the players to be able to be empowered and feel like they can trust him over anything. But at the same time, he's not going to let them forget that he's in charge and that it's the Aaron Glenn show here right now. And I think that's exactly what a young team needs. And I think it transcends sports. I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but I imagine for hockey it's the same thing. Same goes for soccer. But like basketball, baseball, football, all those teams, if you're a younger team, it helps to have a coach who, yeah, he's going to have your back. He understands the way the league works. But at the same time, you're not going to get away with anything here. This is what Aaron Glenn is preaching. I mean, everything about this team, he's pinning up these rivalries with these players, getting them ready to be competitive with everyone while also building that camaraderie. It's not easy. It's why a lot of coaches in the NFL, people don't remember them, because most coaches don't stick around forever. Aaron Glenn has that. From everything we've seen, he has the potential to stick around for a long time. I love the way, once again, it's that Aaron Glenn thing that he does where he just can't stop himself from always saying the perfect thing at the right time.
Under Robert Saleh's, when he was the head coach, he let a lot of things slide, whether it was little mistakes or repeated mistakes from the same people being made over and over again. He always said, like, don't worry, guys, we'll get it next time. And everyone knew he was the player's coach. But at the same time, he was way too easy on the players. There's a way to coach the players hard, but at the end of the day, still be a player's coach and still have the players back and be a coach that the players trust. That's what Aaron Glenn's going to do. We see it every time he steps on the podium. He seems to earn every single person's respect. Just like you said, I haven't heard him say anything incorrect. There's been nothing in the media about him saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. The Jets are in the media now for all the right reasons, which is pretty much right now nothing at all. Like there is, think about all the news this offseason about the Kansas City Chiefs. There has been none. The top teams, they don't have big offseason news. The offseason drama, think about it. It's about the Cowboys right now. It's about the Bengals, and it's about front offices mismanaging their assets. It's great to see the New York Jets not being a circus in the offseason. Aaron Glenn said he wants to move in silence. He is doing that in one of the hardest markets to do that. We know there are so many, like, I'm not trying to say the blogs are wrong for this, but there's so many blogs and reporters who are trying to get sound bites out of the Jets. They're trying to get news articles out of the Jets, and so are we. Like, we are. But they are doing it the right way and not giving people like us a whole lot to talk about. And yeah, maybe it's bad for this channel, but overall for the New York Jets, to be a competent organization, that's the exact way that you need to handle yourself. That it is a great direction that Aaron Glenn is taking this team. Absolutely love what he's doing. I'm not someone who usually watches every single press conference, but every time Aaron Glenn steps up on the mic, it is absolute must see. I can't wait to hear what the guy's going to say next. Everything that comes out of his mouth, I fully trust, and I truly feel like he's taking this franchise in the right direction, which is a lot more than I can say for the last couple of coaches. With Robert Saleh, seemed like a pretty good guy, pretty neutral on the hiring. but didn't really ever feel like he was definitely the guy. Going back, Adam Gase, absolute second he was signed, we're like, yep, that's years wasted. Going back before that Todd Bowles, I liked Todd Bowles, but I never felt like he was the right coach for the Jets. I frankly didn't even think he was all that good of a coach at all. He did of course win with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I didn't think he was going to be able to be a successful coach as what he's found with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe it's just a fit thing, but Aaron Glenn is finally the coach that I can really feel like I can say completely honestly that I don't just say this about every single head coach that we have. I truly feel like this is the guy to finally make a difference.
Yeah, it felt like Robert Saleh didn't make any difference at any level. And yeah, I mean, even this morning you texted me and said there's just not a bunch of Jets news right now. And it was like, well, for the first time since we've been doing Jets Digest over all these months, yeah, there's only so much going on right now. And I mean, also just speaking on Glenn and press conferences, fun little tidbit. I was sneaking around the Jets Reddit today, or yesterday this was, and Aaron Glenn in an interview, Rich Cimini asked him a question. I don't exactly remember what the question was, but Aaron Glenn kind of snapped at him a little bit. Didn't like yell at him, but kind of like challenged Rich Cimini a little bit. First of all, Jets fans loved that, but something that the comments were saying repeatedly is like, and obviously we were not alive for this, but it was like, this man is just Parcells. It's the same thing. He's just emulating Parcells every way he can. And, I mean, he's talked about him so much where it makes sense why that has happened. And think about it. Parcells was the coach for, what, 1 year? And people still talk about him 30 years later. So, Aaron Glenn, he understands what he's doing here, and it's working. So, I love Aaron Glenn, man. I think he's awesome. I love that Breece Hall sticking around because Breece is a very exciting player who it does feel like any given year. We said this about Garrett Wilson yesterday. Any given year, it could just happen. Like he could just break out and become that top tier of running backs in that tier near like the Saquon Barkleys and Christian McCaffreys of the world. So obviously, I hope it works out. I think there's a good chance it does. I'm interested to see how this run-heavy offense does up in the fall, but also I'm really excited that, Matt, it is summer and the back of my knees are sweating like crazy, and it makes me happy because I love the heat. And I think people want to hear about the back of my knees. So, as Matt's like end the video right now before I keep talking about my knees. Guys, like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Have a great day and go Jets.